Hello and good morning. At least it's a good morning in my world. What time of day is it where you are and where you're watching right now? I had a thought about sleep. And since I am a health educator and a wellness coach, a patient advocate, that when I talk to people about their sleep problems, then often they'll talk about the restlessness and what causes those disruptions as they go into their evening, typically, unless they work graveyards, and how it's difficult to wind down and get to sleep and stay asleep. I like to shift that conversation around to the wake cycle because I would argue that your wake routine and how you go about the beginning of your day, if you're a night sleeper, that is much more impactful and important than how you are winding down at night. They're both important, though the wake cycle and how you're starting your day sets you up for that next period of restorative sleep. Now, this morning is a big day in my world. If you don't know who I am, or if you've not been here before, my name's Tiffany Anderson. I am the founder of Anderson Therapeutics and a wellness coach, alternative healthcare provider, patient advocate, working in the field of public health, have my own business. And one of the things that I do is not only am my own caretaker and am managing multiple chronic conditions, I am focusing on taking myself through my later years in life, now that I'm 60, especially on this celebration year, that I want to invest even more time and energy on lifestyle medicine, healthy lifestyle practices, and combining that with Western therapies. I am not one that poo-poos science or seeing a physician. I work with practitioners that want to have a teamwork approach with me. With my morning routine, I am an early bird. I have always been an early riser. That goes back to my family. There were a lot of farmers in my family line or people that raised livestock, and so the work often didn't stop. you learned how to manage your time really well. When I got up this morning, then because it is Utah Authors Day and I have an event, the first book that I wrote is a resource guide for hip replacement surgery, and I recently published an ebook that talks about my foundational tools that I have used for a couple of decades now and how I better manage my health and how I have helped as a caregiver and with patients in even a corporate and clinical settings in the past. And my number one method, besides nourish, I'm making my breakfast right now, is that I soothe. Managing chronic pain in a less intrusive way is really important to me. I am not a fan of prescription pain medications. I have used them. I don't like the side effects. I want to use them as minimally as possible. And I like to feel very conscious of how I feel and not numb. As I wind down in the evening, I have my sleep routine. I have my sleep hygiene practices, my wake routine, how I feel when I wake up, even if it's that mid-evening needing to use the restroom, and how well I can get back to sleep, and then the final wake when I decide, okay, there's no more sleep, I'm getting up, and it's fairly consistent now. And that took a lot of time for me to get where I am right now, because as a child and even through teen years, young adult, I had horrible sleep problems. And getting to a place now, especially as I've gotten older and have more to manage with my health, ensuring that I have that restorative time has made such a difference in how well I can manage pain. And I challenged myself this morning. I have a daily fitness routine that's crucial for me with I have arthritis, I have osteoporosis, I have dual hip replacements, and so working out all those aches and creaks and joint pain, I have that achiness that I have made friends with, and I respect and I honor the fact that I know that there's parts of me that are going to feel a little sore, and I can better manage those as I get up, stretch. I have my routine, I do my leg lifts. I tried a 50-minute cardio with Fabulous 50s. I've mentioned her videos before. Her name's Shelly Fowler, and I didn't know if I was quite up for a 50-minute, though once I started it, because I thought, well, I work out at home. I have a home gym. It's great because then I don't worry about, walking out of a class or, trying to look around, keeping up with anybody else. I am here just taking care of myself, and it's on the television. I could just switch it off if it wasn't working for me and try something else. I went through it. It started out with 10 minutes of standing abs, a 30-minute of cardio, and since she has all of her videos that are designed for mature adults, specifically women, it's so easy for me to modify. And even if there's things that she's doing I can't keep up with, I know my body well enough that I can do an exercise that works for me as I follow along with her routine. After the 30 minutes, then she finished out with a 10-minute balance. And balance for fall prevention, so important. Now you saw me with the boiling water here. I'm starting out with a warm drink, and I had coffee earlier this morning. I am a coffee drinker. I gave myself a little break from caffeine earlier this week in a wellness challenge, though I do like 1 or 2 cups of coffee in the morning. And I'm doing now, it's a sipping broth. This is a Thai lemongrass. I have time this morning to get some errands done. It's almost 8:30 right now, and my event isn't later until later this afternoon. So I wanted to get my grocery shopping done now, since I've got other jobs and projects that I'm working on, so I can have a bit of a weekend. I'm also making some oatmeal. Now I use steel cut. I have whole oats. I have just the regular ones. Today I'm just using the quick. So I like a variety of different grains in the morning. Sometimes I'll have a porridge with millet or even quinoa. There's all sorts of, even like a cream of wheat. I like cereal, so oatmeal is just super simple for me. And I've shown in other videos before that because I love leafy greens, and I'm always finding different ways, and I put greens in practically everything, even something that you would think of as just a sweet dish. So this is chopped collard greens. I get these at a store in Salt Lake called Winco. That's where I live. That store may or may not be in your area. So I just sometimes I'll put frozen spinach, but just a little bit of the collard greens on there, and then pop that in the microwave. I've also got a tail end of a little bit of blueberries. I cleaned out the fridge this morning and made sure it was all tidy and ready for when I get back from the grocery store. So I'll put some blueberries on there. I had some lemon water earlier in the week when I was doing a palate cleanser during my wellness challenge, and I've saved a lot of the lemon halves, and I'm going to zest that on top. Blueberries and lemon, it's a beautiful combination, and especially with a green like collard greens, they're a little more bitter, and I like that combination of savory, a little bitter. Spinach is a much sweeter green, so if you're looking at adding more greens to your diet and considering putting it in like a sweetbread, or you can certainly hide it in any type of a savory, like a stew or a sauce. I made enchiladas a week or so ago and put spinach in the sauce. It's just so easy to put leafy greens in things like that, especially if you're trying to get more vegetables and children, or if you're the cook in the household. I am aging solo, so all I have to worry about right now, I've taken care of many people in my life, and it's quite liberating now. Maybe some of you can relate. Are you aging solo? Are you finding it liberating? Are you finding it challenging? I'm honestly loving it. There are times where I've certainly felt sad. I lost a lot of people during the pandemic, though grief comes with life, and we lose people over time, and I still have myself, and that's the most beautiful part for me, especially after I became an empty nester, is knowing that I had time for me. And children are wonderful, and it's also great to have time back for myself again. The last thing that I will be having on the cereal is just, I make my own oat milk. I'm on the tail end. You can see there's not much left in there. Making your own plant milk is very economical and really easy. I mean, I just soak oats in water and blend it in my Ninja and strain it, and that's it. It's super easy to make. And that way, I really like doing my own cooking because I'm controlling the ingredients. Back to the sleep. And, you know, sleep can sometimes be that lost friend. And if you're not having that restorative time, I would challenge you to incorporate more exercise, because my fitness routine, it has changed over the years, and it certainly took time as I healed from dual hip replacements. It took a couple of years to get through the different surgeries that I went through, and there were times where I was barely walking a block on crutches, and it was exhausting. So show yourself some grace, be kind to yourself and patient, and know that even if there's only small movements that you can do with a physical therapist, if you can afford, have a trainer, and take advantage of YouTube. The fitness videos out there, there's something for everyone. When I was, really struggling with feeling like I was more homebound when I couldn't drive and going through all of the recovery after surgery, I found a great workout that was designed for people who were permanently living in wheelchairs. And it was a great cardio routine. There are so many different ways that you can add more movement to your day, even if it's something like deep breathing exercises, leg lifts. Go for a long walk. A walk is a beautiful, free form of exercise, and especially if you can get outside, get some vitamin D, some fresh air. And if you're like me and live in a more northern climate where you don't get enough light, I usually do my leg lift routine with my light box. I did a video a couple of days ago showing how I set up a home gym, and it was a blasting light in my face, and I forgot to mention that I had that light on because I multitask. Since I have multiple jobs, I do many things at the same time to maximize my time. That's my time bank approach. And during that video, I had the light box on, since I'm still playing with lighting and how I'm recording my YouTube videos on a budget, that I was getting that light in the morning, and that helps me with the seasonal affective. I'm really prone to feeling kind of blue during the winter months, since I really do prefer the warm weather, and since I have so much metal in my body, I'm extra creaky. When you add more movement, our bodies are designed to move, and it will help you to rest. So that is I'm not only better managing my chronic pain by moving and easing myself into the day, I am then preparing myself for later on to get past the afternoon slump crunch type of thing, when maybe in the past I would have gone and had a sweet or some type of a pick-me-up. I'll go for a walk now, or get a little bit of a sunshine, and if you can carve out even 10 minutes of your morning to get 10 minutes of sunshine, that impacts our pituitary gland and helps to set up that natural wake cycle, and how we naturally are going to wind down in the night and sleep better. I hope this was useful and interesting. I'm going to finish prepping up my oatmeal now so I can get to the grocery store and go about my day. And if you're interested, go to my website and check out all of the free tips, tools, and resources that can help you better manage chronic conditions. Maybe you're a caregiver, maybe you're someone living with artificial joints. And my new ebook, this is a limited edition print copy that I made just for this event this Saturday at the Weber County Library for anyone that is in Utah. The first 10 people will receive a signed, limited edition copy of this. Otherwise, it's an ebook. So that's where that is available. And the foundation of that, the introduction of each of those concepts, are on my website. And all of those things are free. So check it out. Like and subscribe, share, leave a comment. I would love to hear how you're sleeping, how you're taking better care of yourself. And I hope you have a wonderful day.